Hola, me llamo Rafael Corbalán. Hola is the word that we use in Spanish to say hello. Now, when you want to know the name of someone, you have two different ways of doing that in Spanish. One is the informal way, which is ¿Cómo te llamas? And then we have the formal way, which is ¿Cómo se llama usted? Now, we use ¿Cómo te llamas? When the person is close to us, when it's someone who is a friend or someone in the family. So we use ¿Cómo te llamas? Now, if the person is not close to you, or if it's in a formal situation, we use ¿Cómo se llama usted? Okay. Now, if you go, for example, to the classroom and you see someone sitting there, maybe you want to use ¿Cómo te llamas? Because it's going to be a classmate. But if you, for example, are in business and you're doing something with someone who you want to express respect or you want to have a formal relationship, you want to use ¿Cómo se llama usted? Okay. Now, well, usually when the person asks the question, you answer with yo me llamo. So you say my name is, and then you say your name. Yo me llamo Rafael. Yo me llamo Pedro. And then maybe you want to say something like and you, in this case y tú, and then you ask the question, ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? If you wanna say that in a formal situation, instead of y tú, you wanna use usted, ¿Cómo se llama? So you will see here that I wrote usted and I wrote usted, right? And also I wrote ud. So both ways are okay when you write them. One is the whole word and the other one is the abbreviation. Okay. So when you see ud, basically it's the abbreviation of usted. Okay. So in both cases you are saying and you, what's your name? Well, the person that says the name, if it's in the yo form, if it's my name is, I will say yo me llamo, and then you say the name. In this case, Pedro. Yo means I is yo. Okay? Yo me llamo Pedro. Okay? Now, tú is you, but when it's informal and it's only one person. So, for example, my brother, my sister, I will use tú. So this pronoun, pronoun means the word that replaces the noun instead of saying Maria and saying tú. Instead of saying Maria, I say you, right? So in this case, if it's a person close to me, if it's only one person, I will say tú, with the accent on top. Now, if you want to say his name, in this case, it's going to be él se llama Pedro. Él se llama Pedro means his name is Pedro. Él means he. Okay? Ella is she. Ella se llama Rosa. You see that él and ella, they have the same form, se llama, right? Él se llama Pedro. Ella se llama Rosa. Her name is Rosa. And also we have usted. As we saw before, it's a difference between tú and usted. Tú is for someone who is close to you, your brother, your sister. And usted is your boss or someone who basically is one person but is in a formal situation. So in that case, you will say usted se llama Rosa or Pedro. You will see that él, ella, and usted, they use the same structure, se llama. So that means yo me llamo, my name is, tú te llamas, your name is, él se llama, his name is, ella se llama, her name is, y usted se llama, your name is. Bueno. Now, how do you say in Spanish, my name is Rose? Well, okay, my name is going to be yo me llamo Rosa. Now, in Spanish, also the pronoun yo is not mandatory sometimes. Most of the times it's not mandatory. So you can say yo me llamo Rosa, or you can say me llamo Rosa. So the yo, if you want to say it, it's okay, but you don't have to. So it could be yo me llamo or me llamo, okay? Now, if you want to say your name is Juan, in this case, it's informal, so we're going to use the tú form. So you can say, tú te llamas Juan, or you can say, te llamas Juan. So the two, if you want, you can cancel that. Now, if you want to say his name is Luis, so you can say, él se llama Luis, or you can say, se llama Luis, okay? And if you want to say her name is Maria, so you can say, ella se llama María, or you can say, se llama María. Okay? How do you say, hello, what's your name? Hello is hola. What's your name? ¿Cómo te llamas o cómo se llama? Okay, depends if you want to be formal or informal. Hello, my name is Rose. Hola, me llamo Rosa. Well, in addition of these words that we use to introduce ourselves in a conversation, we also have other words that you can add to that particular situation. For example, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, hasta luego, hasta la vista, o te veo mañana. Well, buenos días is used basically from sunrise to around 12. You know, we say in any situation that you introduce yourself, you can use buenos días if it's in the morning. So you can say buenos días, good morning, hola, hello, me llamo Pedro. My name is Pedro. Okay. Now, buenas tardes is used in Spanish when you want to say something like, it's basically the equivalent of good afternoon and good evening in English. It's basically both. So it goes basically, the way we use it in Spanish is, it goes from after 12 to sunset. So sometimes in the winter it's shorter, it's longer than in the winter time. But anyway, we use it basically when you introduce yourself. You can say buenas tardes if it's after 12 and it's not dark yet. And also, you know, you can say in different situations that you introduce yourself, so you can use that. So you can say buenas tardes, hola, me llamo Pedro, and so on. Okay. And then we have buenas noches. Buenas noches is basically, we use it when it's dark, and we use it a little bit different from English. So buenas noches in Spanish is used as an introduction and also as a goodbye. So, for example, if I go to a hotel and it's dark, when I introduce myself, I will say buenas noches. Buenas noches. Good evening, right? The equivalent of good evening. Good evening. And then I would check in the hotel, you know. And then when I'm leaving, I will say again, buenas noches. So buenas noches can be used as an introduction or as a goodbye, good night, okay? So it's very common to see someone who goes to a hotel and say, buenas noches, good evening. Me llamo Enrique. My name is Enrique, whatever. And then when you finish the conversation, you say buenas noches again, meaning good night, okay? So that's the way it's used in Spanish. And then we have hasta luego. Hasta luego is see you later. Hasta la vista. Well, maybe you remember the movies of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It says hasta la vista, baby, right? So also means see you later. Y te veo mañana means see you tomorrow. So hasta luego means see you later. Hasta la vista means see you later too. Y te veo mañana is see you tomorrow, right? Now we have also the plurals of my name is. So we have nosotros. Well, nosotros is used in Spanish when the group is all masculine, and then we say nosotros nos llamamos Pedro, Juan, y Luis. In this case, our names are Peter, John, and Luis. If the group is formed by women, instead of nosotros, we use nosotras. So in this case, nosotras nos llamamos María, Luisa, whatever, right? So that's the way we use this. So just remember the nosotros, the pronoun nosotros, is used in Spanish when the group is all masculine, and also when the group traditionally, when the group was mixed, we also use nosotros, and when the group was women, in this case we use nosotras. Today is different ways of saying that. Usually people prefer to say nosotros y nosotras when the group is mixed, but the tradition is nosotros when the group is all masculine or mixed, and nosotras when it's all feminine. Okay. Now the group vosotros or vosotras in this case is only used in Spain, and basically means when you are talking to your brother or to your sister when it's more than one person. So when I'm talking to my brother and my sister, instead of using ustedes, in this case I use vosotros and vosotras. Okay. In this case, vosotras os llamáis, your names are Juan, Luisa, whatever. Okay. And then we have ellos and ellas. Ellos and ellas means they, right? Which means also masculine and feminine. Ellas, ellos is when the group is masculine or mixed. Y ellas is when it's feminine. Today, as I said, usually people say, if the group is mixed, they say ellos and ellas, right? And then the answer is se llaman, and then you say the name. So remember, yo is I, tú is you, informal, one person, él is he, ella is she, nosotros, nosotras, in this case is we, masculine, feminine, vosotros, vosotras, in this case is you, informal, plural, and then we have ellos, ellas, and ustedes. And ustedes means you, formal, more than one person. So remember, when you say hello, well, hello in Spanish is hola. Good morning, well, buenos días. My name is Juan. Me llamo Juan. See you later. Hasta la vista. Te veo más tarde, ¿no? Well, how do you say hello? Hola. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. My name is Rose. Me llamo Rosa. See you tomorrow. Te veo mañana. Okay? Now, we have also the verb to be, which is the first verb that we're going to see this semester. And the verb to be is used a lot in Spanish, and it means ser in this case. We have two verbs for the verb to be. One is ser, and the other one is estar. So we're going to begin with ser. Ser is when you say I am, you are, he is. And estar also means the same, but estar is used for location, basically. I will explain that to you later, but basically it's for location and for conditions, basically. But if you want to say I am a student, for example, you will say yo soy un estudiante. So in this case, for example, you want to say I am a student, you will say yo soy un estudiante. Or if you're a woman, you're going to say una estudiante, right? Doesn't matter. So I am an student will be yo soy una estudiante. Now, if it's tú, in this case, you, informal, one person, you're talking to your brother, so you will say tú eres una estudiante. You are a student. Now, if it's he, it's going to be él es un estudiante. Él es un estudiante. He's a student. Ella es, she is a student. Ella es una estudiante. Usted es, you, formal, one person. You are a student. Usted es una estudiante. Nosotros, if the group is all masculine, somos unos estudiantes o estudiantes. Okay? If it's all feminine, nosotras somos unas estudiantes. If the group is mixed, nosotros y nosotras somos unas estudiantes. Now, the vosotros only used in Spain. Remember, masculine. Vosotros sois estudiantes. You are students. Vosotras, feminine, sois estudiantes. If the group is mixed. Vosotros y vosotras sois estudiantes. Then we have ellos. Ellos, they are. Ellos son estudiantes. They are students. ellas, they are students, ellas son estudiantes. And then we have the ustedes form, ustedes son estudiantes. So remember, I am is yo soy, you are informal, tú eres, he is, él es, she is, ella es, you are, in this case is the you singular, formal, usted es, we are, nosotros o nosotras somos, you are, informal plural, in Spain, vosotras o vosotros sois, and they are, ellos o ellas son. And ustedes, remember, formal, more than one person, ustedes son estudiantes. Well, today is the first day of class, and the students, they get into the class and then they greet each other. So they say hello, well, they say hola, and the other student says hola. One student says, my name is Juan, me llamo Juan, and then he asks, what's your name? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas tú? And the person says, this person responds, yo me llamo Luis, my name is Luis. Okay? Now, then someone asks about the professor. Yeah? Preguntas, or you ask for the name of the professor. Preguntas por el nombre del profesor. ¿Cómo se llama el profesor? What's the name of the professor? What's his name? And the person answers, él se llama Profesor Martínez. His name is Professor Martínez. And then the person says, thank you. Well, thank you in Spanish is gracias. Thank you is gracias. The professor arrives to the class and he introduces himself. Okay? He says, buenos días, estudiantes. Good morning, students. The students respond, buenos días, good morning. The professor introduces himself to the class. He says, me llamo Pedro Martínez, my name is Pedro Martínez, and I am the professor for this class. Y soy el profesor de esta clase. Okay? So, how do you say in Spanish hello? Hello is hola. How do you say, what's your name? Well, I mean, if you want to be informal, ¿cómo te llamas? If you want to be formal, ¿cómo se llama usted? Well, if the person answers, probably the person is going to be, my name is Pedro. Well, it's going to be, my name is Pedro will be, me llamo Pedro. Okay. If you introduce yourself, you want to say something like good morning. So how do you say good morning? Buenos días. Well, if you want to say good evening, well, buenas tardes. If you want to say good night or good evening, if you use it as an introduction and it's dark, buenas noches. Well, how do you say, for example, something like, imagine that you get to a hotel and you want to say, hello, good afternoon, my name is John, hello is hola, good afternoon, buenas tardes, my name is John, me llamo Juan, and then the person gives you the key, and then you want to say good night, and you want to say thank you. So good night is going to be buenas noches, and thank you is going to be gracias. Now, if you want to say something like I am, I will be yo, and I am will be yo soy. You're talking to your brother and you're saying you are, so you wanna say you will be tú, or is eres. Or you are an engineer, for example. Tú eres ingeniero. Okay, you are a student. Tú eres estudiante. Well, if you talk about he, it's gonna be he is, and a student will be él, he is, él es, and a student will be estudiante. But by the way, pay attention to this. When I translate an student, in English I use en, right? In Spanish we don't do that. In Spanish we say él es estudiante. So you should not say él es un estudiante. Don't say that. Say él es estudiante. Well, if it's she, it's going to be she is student, and student is going to be ella es estudiante. Now, then we have usted. The usted, remember, is the you form informal one person, right? So in this case, it's going to be usted es estudiante. We are, nosotros o nosotras somos estudiantes. And then we have the vosotras form, vosotros. You are students, will be vosotras o vosotros sois estudiantes. And then we have they, well, ellos or ellas son estudiantes. En ustedes son estudiantes. Well, I hope we can practice with this in the next chapters. But just remember, today we have seen introduction, how we introduce ourselves, and also we have seen the personal pronouns yo, tú, él, ella, and we have seen the verb ser.